The actors in this video are highly untrained and are strictly involved for training and entertainment purposes only. We encourage you to not try to imitate the behaviors or personalities of these actors at work. Actually, anywhere.
Hi, and welcome to the How to Enter the View of a New Job training. Now down to the studio with your unlicensed expert advisors, Chief Funkaricious, and ask you questions.
Yo! Welcome to our special training. Today we're going to teach you how to interview fully. What'd you call me?
You can see I have been presented with a coaching for an improvement opportunity, which is a great segue to our next training, how to deal with difficult people.
Anywho, my name is G Funkaricious, and this is my sidekick, Ask You Questions.
Today, you will get front row seats to see 3 candidates go after a position on our team.
Yeah!
Anywho, in order to get through the door of opportunity, you must first have a key.
The key is resume.
That's resume.
No, Brian Gumball. What I was going to say was resume the title of your property of opportunity.
Clever. That's actually the 4th definition for resume in the dictionary.
Yeah!
As I was saying, your resume is the key and actually the beginning stages of the interview process.
Yeah!
Well, truth be told, G Stunk Your Britches, if you're looking to promote within your facility, your interview process starts with everything that you do on a daily basis.
Due to time constraints, we are not going to go into formatting your resume. But what we will do is give you some tips on how to make it look good. Real good.
On the top of your resume, you should have your name and the best way to get in contact with you.
Next should be the objective. This is telling the employer what you're trying to accomplish.
A snapshot of your strength. This is designed to get the employer's attention.
Next, you should have the employment section. Be sure you start with the most recent job and travel backwards.
Be sure to briefly explain the job and the responsibilities that you held.
Be sure you use bullets, points, to make it easy to read.
Finally, add an education section. This is where you list all the education you have, including certifications.
This format should be enough to get what the employer needs to know what type of person they're dealing with. And it better not be longer than 1 page, because you can be lost in the shuffle.
Now that you have the knowledge to create your key, let's move on and look at our 3 candidates.
First, we have Aimin Huno, which he is currently an underwater technician. Next is Do Right or Else. He is currently a subtraction specialist and works as a member of the cleanup crew at the Midtown Laundromat. Next is Ben Nice, which he is currently employed at the New Medieval Barbershop. And finally, we have Andumso. He is currently a Badmoots advisor for a local congregation.
We ask behavioral-based questions because we want to see if you can survive in our line of work. So let's begin.
Okay, Mr. Ndumso. Describe a time where you were short on time but had to make a difficult choice.
Just right before I got here, I had smothered tacos, with a side of pork lo mein, and so, let me tell you, with that combination, I was definitely short on time. Did you make the right decision? So for my undergarment, no. However, I did make it to this interview on time. What'd you eat? Duty Pebbles? Tell us a time where you successfully removed a problem.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Does my mother-in-law count? Here's your next question. Tell us a difficult time when you had a hard time helping someone who wasn't easy. That's a very good question. In my job, the hardest person I had to deal with was Howard. He was a chicken. He was upset because we baked him for Sunday's senior citizen dinner. It was special, Could you believe he had the audacity to leave his dried up skin on the pan? It took me hours to get that up, I think he did that on purpose.
Do you know? Oh, gee, I don't know. Well, I thought you know, because he keeps saying you know. No, I really don't. Because I sure don't know. I wish he'd tell me. If I knew what he was saying, I wouldn't ask him. Because I would know, I tell you what.
What?
He says, one more time. I'm going to tell him what I know.
What do you say?
Matter of fact, if he asks me if he gets the job, you know what I'm going to say?
What?
I'm going to say you? No. Okay, Mr. Do Right or Else.
He's scary. Man up!
Tell us a time when you had a hard time helping someone who wasn't easy.
Why is it so dark over there? Yeah, I had difficult people in my line of work. I usually make them undifficult. You might be asking, how do I do that? Well, let's just say I give them what you guys call involuntary time off. I thought I was the only one hard around here. He certainly doesn't fit our culture.
Why don't you tell him that? I'm a bit wrinkly. Kind of like his backdrop. Think I'm gonna ask him for his business card.
See if he could give you a tic-tac-toe.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all you.
Okay. Mr. Ben Nice, tell us about a time when you dealt with a satisfied customer that was unsatisfied. Has a barber asked you, it is almost certain you will have an unsatisfied customer. Last month, I had a full room. A customer who was up next was getting upset because he had an event to attend which he was getting the Best Man award. The customer who was in every other day was in my seat at the time. What I did, G. Funkaricious, was tell him if he was to get up for the customer who was short on time,
and let him sit down, I would give him not only this cut for free, but also the next time he comes in. My everyday camper was happy and he agreed. And I was able to get that customer who was upset in my seat and out within 10 minutes. As a result, the customer loved his haircut and made it to his destination with more time than he expected. G Funkaricious, I learned something that day, and that is, if you take care of your customers on a daily basis, they will take care of you. I appreciate that.
As you can see, we received a lot of different answers. However, there was one candidate who gave us a great one. And I can tell you now, he literally saw this one through.
Due to time constraints, we only show you parts of the full interview. We ended up selecting Ben Nice because he gave us the best answers.
Yes, he did. And Ben used a method we like to call sorrow. This helps him stay on course with every question he is being asked.
You're in luck because we're about to teach you this method so you can perform in the next interview.
SORREL stands for Situation, Action, Results, Learn. In Ben Nice's example, he described what was going on as well as giving us a specific time.
Has a barber asked you? It is almost certain you will have an unsatisfied customer. Last month, I had a full room. A customer who was up next was getting upset because he had an event to attend which he was getting the Best Man award. Next is action! This is when you tell the interviewer what you did to resolve the problem. In Ben Nice example, he told us what he had to do to take care of that unsatisfied customer. What I did, G Funkaricious, was tell him if he was to get up for the customer who was short on time and let him sit down, I would give him not only this cut for free, but also the next time he comes in. My everyday camper was happy and he agreed, and I was able to get that customer who was upset in my seat and out within 10 minutes.
Next is results. This is when you tell the result of your actions. Once again, in Ben Nice's story, he told us exactly what happened because of the result of his choices.
As a result, the customer loved his haircut and made it to his destination with more time than he expected. Finally, you tell the interviewer what you learned from that experience. Here is an example from Ben Nice on how he told us what he learned. G Funkaricious, I learned something that day, and that is, if you take care of your customers on a daily basis, they will take care of you. As you can see, the SORREL method is tremendous and can keep you on track as you give your answers.
We don't just want to stop there. Because we care about your success, we also want to give you some tips to help you succeed when you're on your next interview.
Tip 1.
When you enter the room, make sure you greet everyone with a firm handshake. Be careful when it comes to the handshake. You don't want to give your interviewers the Kung Fu grip.
Watch out!
Tip 2.
When you sit down, make sure you have good posture. You don't want to sit uptight or slouch like someone let the air out of you. Especially, you don't want to give the impression that you are posing for one of your next profile pictures on some dating site. Trust us, we've seen it all. Always remember, you are here for an interview.
Tip 3.
It's okay to have a small notepad or a 3x5 card with you while you have the interview. Write some things down that'll help jog your memory, so that way you can stay on course when you're giving your answer. On a side note, please stay away from anything that could be a distraction to the interviewers.
Tip 4.
Make sure you acknowledge everyone in the room. By not making eye contact with those interviewers who didn't ask you the question, you give them the opportunity to think about what they will be doing this weekend simply because they feel like you are not talking to them.
Tip 5.
Learn your interviewer's name. When you call an interviewer by their name, you instantly personalize the situation. This will get the interviewer's attention, which gives you a greater opportunity to leave a good first impression.
Tip 6.
When you get nervous, take deep breaths. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. When we really want something or want to give a great impression, we tend to add unnecessary pressure. So the next time you're nervous, stop and take deep breaths.
Tip 7.
Record yourself. In fact, we highly recommend you using your smartphone to answer interview questions so that way you can hear how you speak and sound.
Tip 8.
The two interviewers, Hugh No and Andum So, are two great examples of what not to do in an interview. Using words like and you know and so makes it really difficult for the person you're speaking to follow along. We call those filler words. When you say you're basically telling the person you are speaking to that you are thinking, which in turn lets them know or gives them the impression that you are not prepared. What we recommend you doing is practicing these few exercises that we're about to give you to help avoid those filler words. 1. Record yourself talking. Just like tip 7, your phone is the greatest option to hear yourself speak. Number 2, make eye contact. When you look someone in the eye, it forces you to focus on what you're saying and it automatically slows you down. And this gives you the opportunity to avoid those filler words.
Tip 9.
Learn the competencies. Once you learn the competencies, begin picking 1 or 2 scenarios so that way you have an example for each question that is being asked. This will give you a chance to have your interview run smoothly because this type of preparation will remove the huge pauses which creates those mind games while you're interviewing.
Tip 10.
Gear your answers towards your strengths. When you are selecting examples to use in your interview, make sure it aligns with the strengths that you have listed in your resume.
Tip 11.
Take time to talk about yourself. At the end of your interview, you want to make sure that they understand why you feel you are the best fit for the position.
There's a lot of information in this video, so I suggest you watch it again so you can get the information you need to enter the view of the new job.
We want to thank you for watching, and be sure to look out for future trainings to help you succeed with your career. My name is Ask You Questionson, and this is G Tiny Tissues.
What'd you call me?
And we will see you in the next training.
Deal.